Hello. This is the photo we're going to be editing today, and I'm going to show you kind of how I do that. I'm just going to give you a heads up. This is not an easy process. This is not a quick process. This is a time-intensive process that takes a lot of finesse and things, but you can get absolutely beautiful photos with it. Here's another example. Pictures that you can absolutely make jump out at your clients, or for your clients may have their clients. The main thing is that if you're looking to do some really high-end photography, if you're looking to do something it's going to kind of push your boundaries, this tutorial is kind of for you. But please don't enter this as thinking that it's going to be something that is easy, that'll work for all your clients. You have to have a high-end client that's going to be wanting this level of photography, and then they're willing to be able to pay for it, because this is very time intensive, and you have to make sure you're charging correctly for it. The last thing you want to be doing is overworking yourself and not be charging correctly for it. I have a lot of rooms here. This process is exactly what I do throughout the entire house. As you can see, this was a 9.5 hour long shoot. Over here at the bottom, we shot Twilight Says everything. We shot 1,352 images over a 9.5 hour period, which is just crazy. But we ended up something like 42 images or something. Just a lot of kind of over the crazy stuff. That's what this builder likes. We shoot for what the builder likes. They like things that grab them in marketing campaigns and all that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do is I'll just kind of show you some of the rooms here. So like, here's a finished room here. You can kind of see what some of our finished looks are. They're just really beautiful, really high lit. The colors are all accurate throughout. Let's see here. We do a lot of wide angles, so that you kind of see the entire house, makes it look bigger. All this house is huge to begin with. And I also kind of send them some cropped in images as well, just for a little bit difference in their marketing. We put not that file, there you go. Put a little fire in, try to make things nice for them, swapping TV shots. I don't know why anybody would ever look at a picture of their own house, but there you go, that's what they like. Sometimes you just have to do what the client likes, not what you think would be the correct thing to do. Beautiful little office there. Oh, I hate that. Here we go. I've changed around files all over this computer, so sometimes my catalogs are a little funky here. But all right, so if you want to see how to do this, then you just follow along with us. Hopefully I'll make it a little bit enjoyable. We had beautiful skies that day, so it actually worked out beautifully. I didn't have to do much. This is the actually original sky, and this was a sky swap, so I don't even know it's that much better. But anyway, here's the front of the house, so you can just kind of get a glimpse at what we're kind of working with here. I do love their kitchen, though. Man, they had a beautiful kitchen. So if you'd like to do a kitchen video, I can absolutely do that. So, but let me kind of walk through why we do what we do and why we charge what we charge, because this is a process. I felt like this room would be an easy one, so that way we can kind of show you exactly why I do everything that I do and how I do it. And I can kind of go through it. So I loaded everything up in the Lightroom, all of our images that we took. To start off with, you can see I bracketed the front of this room first. I did maybe a 5-stop bracket. Sometimes if they're crazy with windows, I do a whole bunch of stops brackets. Just kind of depends. But I'm going to take these. I'm going to right-click all those images there. I'm going to open up as layers in Photoshop. Do not just put them into Photoshop. They will open up as 25 files here, 25 different files, and it'll just blow your mind and stuff. But make sure you get them open as layers, and then they're going to open up here in Photoshop. Hopefully one day. My computer's running slow because my hard drive's almost full, so that's awesome. So all these images, I'm going to explain to you why I photographed the way I did, why it helps, why it's not an easy process, but why the extra process does help. There's actually two different forms of this. You can use just the first half of the room painting and for just bright, clean photos that look pretty, or you can use all of it and then make it really stand out and pop. Every time I do this is a little bit different, so just because we just started this is something that we've began doing and making things, jumping up to that next level so that our clients are happy. We're right now in the commercial world, we are competing against some really, really high-end clients, our other photographers, and our game's got to be better than theirs if we're going to be having our clients choose us. This is for a builder, so this is their model home. This is not for real estate per se, but for builders. I mean, if you shoot real estate, you can easily shoot for builders, and so that's definitely the higher tier of being what you can charge for photography and things. So we choose not to shoot a lot of real estate, mostly because it's just a lot of driving, a lot of time. For the prices that we charge, we don't get a ton of them. They do love us and they work with us, but there's always someone else willing to do it cheaper, and as photographers get better in their skills and their low-end skills, it's harder to compete with. So that we do, the higher end work that, it's harder to compete with, and it keeps our jobs safe, and the client's a little bit easier to work with. So not always, but for the most part, we can work with fewer clients. And so we build a relationship with them, and they end up working. They understand us. We know what they want, and it's a lot easier to keep, 4 or 5 clients happy than trying to keep 250 a year or whatever, all individual personalities happy. You know what I mean? So right now we have all the images loaded into Photoshop. You can see they've all loaded up right over here, which is just phenomenal. Makes it easy for us. Back in the old days, this was a mess. So my first round of images, again, I start off with bracketing. I bracket the entire room, just a whole bunch of brackets. I do this because I want to make sure that worst case situation, whatever happened, I don't know whatever happened, I could always use brackets, merge them together, fill in a spot where I need to, and just have kind of a safety zone. So I can go over here, alt-click on one of these here, and just kind of see what that image is here. And then I know this is one of my flash levels. So I know that these first 5 levels right here are my brackets. I will go ahead and turn these red, and I will drop these all the way down here to the bottom. And I'll tell you why, because I hardly ever even use these things. These are literally just a backup, but it takes 5 seconds of camera, therefore I do it just to make everything safe. Then let's kind of go through here, and I'll kind of show you how I flash. I have a bunch of different flash levels here. One of the flash I always do is just right behind the camera. This one gives me, which is this top level right here that we're kind of looking at. This gives me a nice clean ceiling, nice soft shadows. I use a shoot-through umbrella with a Godox 8600 Pro strobe. It's heavy, it's not light, but it's powerful. I shoot big houses, so I need lots of power. When you're shooting through a shoot-through umbrella, you're going to be having a lot of it's gonna take about a stop of light out of your power, and so having the extra wattage is definitely nice. I could possibly get away with a 200 in certain rooms, but I'll show you. In the big rooms, you need all that 600 watts, and sometimes I wish I had 1,000 watt. But you can see my little reflection right here in the glass right over here. But so this is just kind of overall blanket image I start with at the beginning, just to make sure that I have everything. And then we'll kind of take that one down, kind of look through. Then if you look over here, you see where I moved the umbrella. It's right outside the camera over here, and I lit this side of the room. What I'm doing on this one is I'm lighting over here. I'm making sure that this is pretty. The reason why is because I feel that in room photography like this, your light is going to be coming from your chandelier normally, or lights in the center or whatever. So all your light that you paint into your room, you want to be having coming in from the center-ish. So I won't use this right half. This right half is too bright and blown out, and I won't use that, but I'm going to use the spill light from over here. The reason I put the light way over here on the side is because I get a nice even light across the side of the room over here. I don't have to worry about doing multiple shots to light this side of the room and try to blend those in and make them look even. I can do that with just one big blast from over here on the right hand side. The next shot, which I did, and then this is safety's sake. Remember, we're charging $150 a photo here, so we're making sure that we're having. I kind of overshot on this one. Was this necessary? Actually, kind of yes, because I love the shadows over here. This created much better shadows than this photo over here. This is a little bit too flat. I always try to make sure that if I can, to light from 90 degrees. It just gives you beautiful contrast in your lighting. You get these wonderful shadows on the walls that look natural, like they're coming actually from this light, and it just makes everything look very, very realistic to how the room would actually be lit normally. And of course, I'm over here trying to hold this thing up high as I can. Ha! See my little booties, because again, we're polite to our clients and we try to be good to the rooms. And again, this is all blown out because we're not going to use it. I'll show you later why. Again, just kind of shoot them over here, just on the left. Again, some of these are safety images. Why? Because it takes 1 second for me to click this. My wife actually goes with me on this, and she fires the camera. I just say, hit it, as I walk, hit it, and I can just do 3 clicks at the time I walk across the room. So it's really, really fast, doesn't take a lot of extra time. And these big rooms are tricky sometimes. The other reason why is if you look at this little highlight detail in this chair, that's awesome. I love that. And if you have multiple of those, you can blend them all together and just really make those pop, which is really something I like. And then we just kind of walked around. And so that was it. This is a small room. It didn't require a lot of the big pops. So that was kind of nice. So what I do, I go over here with the big pops. We're going to label these yellow. Yeah, they're green. I like green. And so that's going to be as my big flashes and my big room flashes. I'm going to drag those down just above the other levels. Right there. Excellent. So these are all the ones that are the HDRs. These are all the big room flashes that we have over there. Now this left is all of these, which I will label blue. I like blue. I like a lot of colors. So if you look at these, this is me holding our little 8200 because my hand gets tired holding the big one. No longer having to use that street through umbrella because we're not looking for soft lighting anymore. We're looking for directional lighting. The lighting on this chair is awesome right here. Love this little shine thing. And then the next one, see, I just walk around. I just boom, walk around, boom, walk around. If you don't have a lovely wife who's standing behind the camera, clicking that camera for you, you can just use a little remote trigger and it'll be easy to go. Please don't look at my funny faces. And so again, I'm popping over here in the chairs as we go through, popping and everything, making sure everything's got a little bit lit area. And like they're a little too bright over there, a little too bright over there, but it's okay because I'm going to use parts of those. These were lighting for here on the reflections here because one of the things, anytime you have glass, you can get a lot of reflections and get kind of weird. And so by doing these other little pops, I can make sure I can highlight this, and then vice versa, the other image highlight this, and just have beautiful shadows. And again, because the shadows are coming here, and because the shadows are coming, here, it looks natural, like it's coming from the middle of the room. So again, these just more light pops as we kind of went down. Blah, da, da. More shadows, more light pops, and more light pops here. Just because I wasn't sure if I quite got that, I wanted to make sure we were going to deal with that shadow there, and then popping the white cylinders there to make them pop. And that's it. So really, you just walk around and you just light paint everything that you think you want to light paint. If it's got a curve to it, make sure that you're highlighting it. Hopefully from the upper and to the side. Light does come from above, not from below. You don't have crazy shadows. Like this shadow's horrible, so I would never use this shadow. But these I love. I like these right here. I love this stuff from the side. So this stuff looks beautiful. Look at that shadow right there. But that shadow's not so crazy wonderful right there. Hence why I hit it from the other side in the other picture. But it gives them great shape. And so I'll utilize those where I need. So all these images right here, I'm going to go ahead and turn all these images, all these to lighten. And you're going to see it all at once. So I'm going to go bang, boom, everything's nice lit. But you have all these flaws and flubs and things, and those are the things we're going to have to get rid of, and I'll show you how to do those in just a little bit. So we'll just go ahead and take all those out. You can click and drag, always good. So now we're left with these images here. I'm going to go ahead and put lighting on these as well, and you're going to see what's going to happen. Nice bright room. I just know that everything's nice and lit, and it's going to work beautifully. So this first image, but here's the thing, here's the kicker. So your first image, on this picture, I didn't do it. Normally I do a dark blank image, just of nothingness. I didn't happen to do it on this one, so but I'll just take, let's see, that's about the darkest image I got. Let me just do this. Normally I do a blank image because I want to have an image that doesn't have anything in it. Maybe just a flash pop or something that's not really being used anywhere else. Just kind of a throwaway image I keep at the bottom. We can probably just use this one right here because I think it's going to be dark enough. Worst case, I'll just make sure it's a little darker. And yay, there we go. All right. So our first image is right here. This is our first one. Now I like this side of the room. That's looking pretty good. This one's a little too flat for me. Remember, this is that back left corner over here. A little too flat. So I don't like that. So that's probably no. I don't really label all my labels like this. I just kind of work through it, but I'm trying to help you all out here. So I'm going to use this image right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just mask this image with a nice white mask. I'm going to take my brush, just a regular brush, and because we're working on a white mask, I want to delete me out of it. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do D first. Always click D before you change your colors, so that way you make sure you reset. So let's say we were at here like a red or something. We wouldn't want to paint in red or anything. So I click D, so it goes all white and black, and then X and it flips right over. Hotkeys are amazing. So now I'm working over here. My opacity, I'm just going to turn to 100%. We're going to be on a soft brush, and we're just going to. This is my problem with my computer, because my computer is a little bit slow because I have not deleted out my hard drive. Right, and so we have most of that worked out. Then I'll go up here at 20%, or just hit 2, and I'll just kind of fade that back over there. Now everything over here looks nice and clean. I like that, but this is all nice and dark because of our sublayer. Remember, our sublayer was down here. This is the one we're actually looking at. That's just our base layer. We're building light upon that. So now we've got to go find another image where we're like the other side, and that's the image right there. That's fantastic, but I'm all in it, so we got to mask me out. And then so I put a little white mask on there. Go over here again, black brush, and we're going to click, just type in 100, so it goes to 100. If you type in 2, it goes to 20. Type in 3, it goes to 30. You know, just that kind of thing. So we just get 100, and then I'm going to take this brush and just brush, and brush it out. And that's already looking really nice. If you wanted to, you could just literally do that for a house, for a room, and go with it. And most clients would just be happy, and you'd be good to go. One of the things you can do on these photos, and it's called the luminosity layer, and so one of these things, a trick, is to go find a bright image. This looks like this image right here. This is nice and bright. Well, that's a little too bright. This is right. This is why you bracket, because you never know what you're going to do. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to title this Luminos. I can't spell luminosity, so we'll do luminos. I'm going to drag that all the way to the top, just so for simplicity's sake. You know what? I'm going to recolor that one violet, because violet's awesome. And I'm going to label that luminosity. Now, we're going to take that all the way down to 0. Oh, that's why. Sorry. I had it. That's the only layer I clicked. Ha. So here we go. So right now, this was. I apologize. I clicked on my other layers. I got silly. Who's silly? Nick's silly. That's awesome. Why is that one in there? Which one's the funky one? Oh, that's why. I clicked on the wrong things. Here we go. This is where we were before. So nice, beautiful. I need to figure out how to do a pause and stop on this thing. So this is our image we had before. It looked pretty good. Wasn't too bad, but it looks very unnatural. As you can see, this is just all pure flash. So sometimes what you want to do is you want to add a little bit of natural shadows back into your image. One thing you do is this luminosity layer. Always take it down to 0, and then I'll bring it back slowly. What this is going to do is it's going to bring your natural light, the natural look of kind of what you had before, back into your picture, back in shadows. It does make it a little hazy. It's a little uncontrasty, because one of the problems is that, you know, your natural lit rooms are not contrasty. You want to kind of make them pop. But I'll bring that about 30% or so. You can see the difference between stark and then more natural light. If you look up here, this light coming in back over here, this is a kind of natural light that we have from that lamp that wasn't there with the flash. But by bringing it in, it brings a natural light. Your lamps are going to glow over here naturally. He's going to have a little bit of glow where they didn't have it before. But you do kind of lose that contrast. So if you wanted to just do this for your photos, if you want to be nice, quick, and easy, just 2 flash pops and a luminosity layer, this would be the way to do it. But I would go up here to levels. This little button right here, levels. Levels is your friend. And then I just pump a little bit of contrast in blacks and a little bit in the whites. And just look how much that just takes that to a little bit different level. I would recommend, if you're doing this kind of stuff, that you make sure that you do actions. You make these easy. You go in here, you record action. I got actions all down here. You record action. Most is for skin retouching. We do all kinds of photography, but or people photography. But you know, make a levels layer like that. Something that you like. But it is hotkey F3, and then you just hit F3, and boom, it throws in the level. It just makes your life so much easier, so much faster. So, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to go full tilt, and we're going to go a little bit further. Oh my gosh, I can't even think today. So I don't even need the luminosity layer because we're going to rock it out just with flash. We might do a little at the end, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So right now we got the room nicely lit. I kind of like that. So right now, do we need any more? Let's see. I kind of like that. I kind of like this fills in this area over here a little bit more. But you have to be careful. So watch this right here. That's one of the problems with you having too much light is that you'll start losing your shadows. And that is not a good thing. You don't want things to be looking weird unless you don't take all shadows away. But shadows can be a good thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick and choose where I like this. I'm going to just turn it on, see where I like it, and then see where I want to go. So because I know where I want it, I'm turning it on and off and looking where I want. I think I like this. That might be a little too bright. Turn it off and on. I'm looking over here. I don't like this. This is too much here, but I like this on the couch. I think that's going to work nicely for that. So what maybe down here in the cabinets too. Look at those cabinets. You can see it kind of taking away a little bit of shadow there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold down Alt. This is for Windows people. I don't know what y'all do on Mac. Mac people are crazy. I'm going to hold down Alt and the mask button. That gives me a black mask. I could do white, and then I can do Control I, and it would switch it around. You got lots of hotkeys are your friend. So now I've got that. So now what I'm going to do is, because I'm working on a black mask, all this layer right here, if I hold Shift and click on it, it takes it away. But so that way you can kind of see what it was again and back. But now I want to make sure that I'm going to go to my brush. So I got my brush right here. You click B for brush. I'm going to turn my opacity down, I don't know, let's do 40%. And then we're going to make sure we hit D, and D is going to make sure that the letter D is going to make sure that our white pops up. So now we're just going to kind of brush that in and just kind of highlight that. One of the reasons why is because having your furniture pop in a room is something that draws your eye to what could be there, and that's really big for marketing and sales and things. I'm also going to kind of zoom in here a little bit, and you can kind of see like what happened. So this is before, and I click it, and it just kind of makes it pop, makes it glow really nicely. And that's one of the things that people always want to kind of envision what they could have in their own house, and having these people these companies spend over $100,000 on these homes to when they have people come in and stage them. And so one of the things you want to do is make sure that you're showing off all their stuff, so that they're, if they paid for it, they're going to want to show it off. That is a definite. Got a little bit of ghosting there. So I hit X, and now if I hit X, it switches the brushes, so I can just go back and forth. And because we're doing this on mask, we are non-destructive. I can go back and fix this stuff anytime we want, so it makes it really, really simple. I kind of like that. My eye gets drawn to that nicely, and I like to see what they're using this room for. This is a theater room, of course, so it's kind of nice. And then we talked about this, so make sure we're on white brush so we can see what we're doing. And we'll kind of draw a little bit here. And I'm just kind of knocking down that contrast a little bit in these shelves, because I think it was just a little too much for what it was. Next layer, what do we have? This is that one layer, remember we shot just behind the camera? This is the one I used to fill just in case I got too much crud going on, too many shadows, too many weird things. And I'll tell you the truth, I don't think, you know what? I'm going to use it right here. See this? I like that softer shadow versus that harder shadow. Soft, hard. Soft, hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, excuse me, we're going to go back over here, black mask, remember hold Alt, mask, and then we get the black mask, and then just kind of paint in a little bit there and a little bit there, and soften up some of those shadows. Remember, this is high-end stuff. So don't be this. You don't have to do all this. You go as far as you want. Take this to the level that makes you happy. It's all about doing something that makes you happy. So, by the way, we shot this room when we do houses like this, big jobs like this. We actually kind of go out beforehand, send some pictures to the builders, show them angles, ask them what angles they like, because we don't want to have to go and redo a shot ever. So we'll go with a cell phone wide angle and then take pictures we like. When we shot this room, we actually didn't do a straight on. We did corner sides. I thought the corners looked pretty cool, but because they showed the chairs more and what it was, they liked this angle. This is their angle they wanted, and they wanted to show it all off. So we were like, awesome, we'll do that. Always check with your builders. Make sure you're doing whatever you can to make them happy. So right now, this next layer, I'll hold Alt and hit the layer, and I'll show you just that layer. So this is what it originally was. Me walking around. Whoa, I gotta stop eating them tacos. So we got walking around, and that was just me lighting that. So when we have it on the lighten layer, if I turned it on, it only shows the light part of the image. I'm dark, and I'm hopefully wearing dark clothes, but it's Texas, so I'm not gonna be wearing all black. And so we lit that corner right over there. My only problem is that's a little bit too bright right there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of turn that opacity down a little bit until I find a match that I like. And we're good to go. And that's it. Now, I didn't even have to do. Now I could go in, I could take out the little things, but I like all this little light. I like the little light runners coming in. It looks really, really good. This next image right here. So this one kind of makes some funky little spots. This looks a little unnatural to me. Now, granted, if you kind of turn your head and look back at the image, you'd probably never even notice that. It wouldn't even be a problem. But for me, that's a little strange because I don't know where the light's coming from. I want this to kind of look natural. I do kind of like this, but I think it's getting a little bit too much. But I do love it on this. This is awesome right here. So I'm going to go apply a mask to that. Hit my B for brush. X so we go down here to D. Alright, so X so we go down here to black. And then I'm just going to kind of brush away the parts that I don't like. We can just do 100%. Make sure you use a soft brush. That way if you mess up, it's not a big deal. And maybe a 50% brush, and we'll just hit that right there. And it just gives a little more texture, a little bit kind of design. You know what? Now I'm looking at it. Now I do kind of want that back there. But that's okay. There, but not there. It's however you like. We're artists. Do what you like. And then let's see here. This picture, this one. So let's see what this was. Alt-click, hold on layer. That was for over there. I don't know what I was doing over there. I don't know what I was thinking. It's okay, because I don't even need that layer. We got plenty more. How about this one, next one? Let's see what we got. So that one's for that light up there. Let's see what happens when I turn that light on just on the light layer. So, you know, I don't think it makes a difference. That one, not seeing it. It's okay. When we're doing big jobs like this, I don't want to go back. I'd rather just walk around the room, flash, pop, 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 and then not have to worry about it, you know, coming back and trying to do that thing later. Better to have more than not. So let's see what this layer is. Nope. That originally was me hitting that side, but because our wonderful side light lit the room so well with that shoot-through umbrella, we don't even need it. So that's phenomenal. What about this next one here? That's again, these are all just different little pops over on the sides, but we don't need them. And let's go here. But that could be useful. I kind of like that, but it's too bright. It's okay. We can turn it down. And then, but I want to make sure that I'm not leaving any accidental guts. Can you see that right there? Let's zoom in over here. All that haziness. We don't like that haziness. Haziness bad, but I like that. So I'm going to hold Alt-click to hit a black mask over here. 50% on my brush by hitting 5, and I'm going to brush it into that couch there, beanbag chair couch thing. Yep, that's exactly what that is. Perfect. And maybe a little bit here in the cups, because we like cups. Cups of, what is that? Popcorn? It's not popcorn. It's a bag of something in pop. Anyway, so that's a sad popcorn thing over here. That's empty right there. That's a sad popcorn bin. All right, so next one. Here we go. And, oh, that was even more for the popcorn over here. So that lit that kind of nicely right over there. You can see on and off, but I don't like these funky shadows over here. So what we're going to do, Alt-click, put it black, paint it in with just a little bit, oh, not there. Just a little bit with the brush, make these bottles glow. You know, that kind of thing. So, and really it's just, you just walk around painting what you want to paint. So this one, this layer right here was me hitting that side over there. Thankfully, I don't, oh, did anybody else catch that? What is this UFO? That is from some layer that I missed. And we get to go back down. So obviously it's not this layer because we did the mask thing. Oh, it is from that layer. That's why usually you want to do black mask and just painting where you like. So that's one thing to always kind of look around on. So we're going to go back to that layer, click on that mask. We're going to hit B for brush, X for making it black, 100 on the keyboard. So that way you go 100%, and then goodbye, no more UFO. Unless you like UFOs. I'm not a UFO person really, but everybody's got their own taste, and I don't mind. It's 2019, you can love UFOs if you want to. I will say, so this layer right here, oh, looky there. You see that right there? This is the problem with this right here. It's things like this that you got to go in and figure out What happened? Oh, it's actually from that layer we're working on. Fantastic. So, but what I do like is this. See how it just makes it glow a little bit right there? I like that. I think that's pretty. That's pretty. So I'm going to go back here. B for brush. X for making sure it's white. 100% by hitting 100, and I'm going to make that glow because it's pretty. Everybody likes pretty. Here we go. Next level. Next layer. You know, I don't think I need that one. What about this one? That one I need. See that right there? That's good. That's good. I like that. Do I like everything about that? I like everything about that except for that part on the floor. So that's that level right there. Layer. So I'm going to just do a white mask on that, and I'm going to push that back. Now, what happens with the problem when we do the white mask? We have to make sure that nowhere else in the image do we have a funky UFO flying around. Because them be bad. We are almost done here. Oh, I like that. See that? And so what these layers are, these are... Oh. Anybody else catch that? Anybody else see that? That's not good. What did I do? That is a Control Z. Huh? Oh, I alt clicked. It's okay. I hit the wrong button. Here we go. So we're going to be going through and just taking a look at, I don't even know what that is, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's gone. And so I like this layer here. And then I think I went through and actually I just deleted, or I put a picture in black. I don't know what I did. Anyway, so this image right here, this is the one that's making all this pop here. Now that's making that a little too bright for me right there, but I like this. This is pretty. Because originally, that's what this image is. It's me standing there, bad posture, blue pants, and I'm just lighting this sucker right here. So I want to make sure that I want to utilize that with this layer. And so I'm going to go back in, and I'm just going to, but I don't like what it's doing here and here. So I'm going to take that brush, put it in black, and I'm just going to paint that out right there. Nice, easy graduate. And then back, you know what? I did kind of like that. So I'm going to hit X, change back my brush. I'm going to go 20% by hitting number 2. And then that's going to bring it back in just slowly. I can build in, I can paint with light until I get it to where I like it. Oh, and here we go. Last one, I had to paint this one right here. So this level right here is just me. So if you saw, it's just me walking around. So this image right here, I'm going to do the same thing, but on this one, I have a UFO. I gotta get rid of my UFO. So we're going to go up here. I'm going to hit X, and we're going to 100 to get rid of it all the way, and then we are good. And let me see how I like that. Do I like all that? Oh, I don't like all of that, but I do like that. So I'm going to paint it right a little bit more of this. Oh, maybe at 20%. So that way it's nice and gradual. Maybe a little more gradual. Just a little happy brush. And then we are good to go. So now, this is the point. Oh. Another UFO on that layer. That's a bad layer. 100. Get rid of there. That's one thing you got to do is look around your image, make sure you don't got any crazy aliens trying to invade you or anything. That's a bad sign. You don't want to have that. This is Texas. We shoot aliens. Alien invaders. There you go. Space aliens. We're trying to be nice to other people. Anyway, here we go. So let me make sure we got everything here. So I still got a couple little pops up here. And one thing you can do is you can kind of roll down here with 3 and see. Oh, no, it wasn't those 3. Well, one of those 3. Oh, it was in one of those 3. So now I can go here. Ah, that's one of them right there. So I can go here, my brush, 100%, 100, and goodbye. And so I know this one's this one because the next one, and and goodbye. You just kind of look over your image, make sure you don't have anything funky standing around or anything. It's not a huge deal. You can always go ahead and Photoshop if you had to, or anything if you had to. So this is our final image here. So if I showed you, so I'm going to take off these 3 layers, these 3 layers, and this one, and I'm going to do Control Alt Shift E, which is going to give me a flattened layer. I'll just drop that at the top. That way y'all can see what it's going to look like. This is without final pops. And then I'm going to turn that back on to show you what the difference it makes. And then this one's going to be Control Shift Alt E, called it Elbow E by my friend. This is with final pops. Can't spell. It's okay. And so we're going to put this two together. So now we get to see this is without, this is with. Without, with. Just makes it pop a little bit more. And that's something that a lot of people like. They like having the extra emphasis. Now I realize that some rooms this makes a huge difference with, some it doesn't. You just gotta kind of gauge your feeling with it and kind of see what you like. But one thing we want to do is sometimes our layers right here, it doesn't pop enough. Our room's too bright. We're not getting enough vibrancy. So this is one of the reasons why I go through and actually color code these things, because I know that all these layers right here in green, these are our big pops. These are our big flash levels. So if I click on the topmost of that one, and let's go here to levels, everything below this is going to go darker. I like that, because if we take this black, oh, look at the drama. But the drama is not affecting these everything above, which is all these other little flash pops. So those little flash pops are going to stand it out more. It's really going to make them work around. You can kind of click your blacks. Now I realize this is going to be adding contrast, so you got to kind of play with it and see. The middle one's going to be kind of shifting you around here in the center. Don't do that; it's too bright. But make your brightness come from your flash pops or from your light sources that you have around. So if we turn that one on and off, you can see a difference in that, adding contrast, but only in the darks and only in the big shot rooms pictures that we have. All of our flash pops that we have are staying nice and bright, and it's not touching any of those. So it makes it look really, really nice and inviting. Let's go up a little bit. So, and then you can do different things with these. Like you can go in here to group of, you can do Control G, you can highlight into the group, and then with that group, you can attach a layers level to that. Alt click, by the way, or if you ever put a layer, you want to attach it to a group, you can hold Alt at the middle line, click it, attach, or you can just kind of walk over here and hit that button. I usually don't do the walk because, you know, you've seen me and my taco eating skills. But anyway, so we have, and so that layer right here, we're going to attach this group. Let's say we wanted to make those flash pops just the flash pops, you know, a little bit brighter. That's one way you can do that. Actually, let's see. Did it actually work? You know what? I was wrong. I messed up. That didn't work. I apologize. Negate that. If you want to make these flash pops bigger, you're going to have to go in here, as far as I know, and actually kind of lighten up each individual one, which is kind of a, so you see that right there? Just kind of a pain. Don't do that. That takes too long. That's why you got to shoot right in camera. Save yourself some time. Let's get rid of this. I don't want to ungroup that. No, not add another group. Anyway, we'll just back out of that. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Computer slow. Why is computer slow? It's okay. You know what? I like group layers. Group layers are fun. We're gonna have double groups because double groups are fun. And this is our image right here. This is phenomenal. This is looking good. This is bright and everything. So one of the things I'm gonna do up here is I want to go up to my layer with the last. We're just gonna get rid of all these. Delete. Those are just me showing y'all things. This is that luminosity layer. If we add that luminosity back in here, that's actually not too bad, you know. It makes it look a little more natural, kind of thing. But I'm gonna do it more like a 10% kind of thing, just to soften it up, just a touch, make it look nice and natural. You know, I'm gonna go with a 5. I like the number 5. That's good. All right. So now we have this. I want to do that elbow E, Control Shift Alt, everything on the left side of the keyboard E. That's going to give me this layer. This is a flattened layer of everything below it. Now this layer I can work on. Now it is destructive though, and so yeah, I got to play with you guys if you want to do that. You know, but this is after I finish all this and I'm good to go. So on this layer right here, I can work on it and not have to worry about anything below it. Now I got to swap out these TVs. You know what? I'm going to do one TV for y'all just to show you how I do it. I'm going to go over here, poly tool, and you just kind of click on here and click on here and here, there. And you do that. Make sure you're going to do multiple of these. You click up here, you make sure it's add-on. You don't want to be losing your saves. And then I'll click a brush, and I'll make sure it's B, and I'll make sure it's 100%, and I will fill that TV up with black. And that's just awesomeness like that. But then I want to click X to go back to white. I'm going to click 0, 2, so we're at 2%. 2%. I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger than TV, and I'm going to click it. I'm going to click again. And again. And look at there. You got some shadow. But here's the problem. You got noise in there. You got banding. Banding bad. Don't do banding. But what do? Because we still got this selection here, I'm going to go up here to filter. I'm going to go noise. I'm going to add noise. I'm going to add noise at 0.66% because now it looks like TV. And now we're awesome. And that gets rid of all that banding. And look how pretty that TV looks. It got a little shine on it. It's a happy TV. Everybody loves a happy TV. And we do that for all 3 TVs. And then once I did that, if I wanted to, I would go in and put another layer on top of that. And I turn to screen. Screen will allow some of that white to come through, and it shows a little bit of depth to it, more than what you normally have, and so that's kind of nice, and little tricks, things like that. But if we had all those TVs, that'd just be nice and pretty, and we'd be good to go. All right, so we have this done. So I'm going to take this layer. Now this house, because they were huge files and huge. This is our number one client that we work for. We didn't want to mess anything up, so I say this is PSD big files, PSBs, or whatever they're called, to make sure I kind of didn't use any of those files. But sometimes it's good to have backups until your clients are happy, and then you don't have to worry about anything. But so we're going to just flatten this image right here. If you need to save it as a big file, do so. But man, they're big. I had some 4 gigabyte files. They're massive. So I would just flatten that image right there. Click out of that, save it right there, and that's going to put us right back over in the Lightroom. That's a finished file. Well, finished is per se, because we still got a couple more things to do. One of the things this client had us do is they like that kind of painterly effect. They like that even further than this effect. You can go in and you could light paint this by hand, and you can make it absolutely perfect, and you could make sure that it's lit all correctly with 100 different layers and everything, but we fudge it a little bit. I don't like to have to deal with all those different layers. Making sure that all the plots are just perfect. So we're gonna color this blue again. I like blue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go take my exposure, all that work we did, all that exposure, and I'm just gonna dumb it down about half a stop. Now it's looking more media roomy, right? Also, because this one's a little different. This one would be a little bit darker. You got to judge your own taste for each of the things. But then I go here to my brush, and I'm going to take my highlights up to 48. Yeah, 48 is what I meant. That's good. And then something on the same on the whites. Why I wouldn't just go to 45, 50? I don't know. Anyway, and I'm going to take my texture up a little bit, and I'm going to add just a touch of warmth. Just a little bit of happy warmth over there. And now I'm going to take my brush. I got a nice big feather on it, but I'm going to turn my flow down to about 35 or so. Now this brush I can paint with, and I can bring back in all that beautiness right there. But I'm bringing in just the highlights and the whites because I want this stuff to pop. I want this stuff to get your eye to get drawn to it. And I'm just going to kind of run it around to find things. See, look at that popping now. All these things up here, these things on the wall, they paid for these things. They want to see those things. And then that over, what is that? That's a bulb. That's a bulb's gone. You know what though? Lightroom's amazing. Let's see if we can do this. Come on, Lightroom. Show me some love. Oh wait. Hey, you gotta put that over there and put that one over there. Here we go. See if we can do this. Can we do this? You know what? We're gonna clone it because I want it to be bright. Oh. You need to be feathered more. We need more feathering. How about that? Oh, that's good. That's nice. Awesome. Here we go. But look at this. Look what we're getting. I like this. We're doing good. All right. And so, do we need a little more brushy brush? Maybe a little more brushy brush. And right over there. And I actually added another brush. So that's a new brush. Same brush, but new brush. And you have to be careful with that. Sometimes you get a little too much. You don't want to go too much on these things. It's just enough, right? But we can kind of brush that around there. And brush it over there. A little brush over here. Oh. we're gonna take a little bit of that brush off that chair. Little brush over here, brush there, brush here, brush there. Okay. Anybody know that song? That's a good song. It's a good song. All right. And looky there. And we're pretty much golden. Now I'm going to show you one little last trick that I do. Cause that's beautiful. I like that. That's nice. I'm going to show you one last trick that I do, just in case I have some color issues, because we all have them and everything. And you can see a little bit right here. See how that's all orange on the wall right there? I actually like that. That looks natural to me. That's part of that's, just from the ambient layer that we have belowhand everything. But part of that's, can be, you might have a luminosity layer issue, causing little funky color things. You never really know what it is. Let's pull this back into Photoshop real quick. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I do just when I want to get rid of color casts and things. Now again, this is all stuff. Oh, this is over the top. This is if you want this kind of level of editing. But I'm going to take a new layer. I always copy my first layer. Always do copy. There's no real reason for it. And sometimes because for being non-destructive, but it's just old habit. And I'm going to take a blank layer. I'm going to turn it to color. I'm going to hit B for brush because they're fun. I'm going to take Alt and click and somewhere up here because I'm going to be working up here. So right now we have a little bit of color cast, a little bit of funkiness. And I'm going to do about 50%, 30% brush, and I'm going to start painting. And I'm just going to paint with that brush. Now, what this is doing is it's just painting everything the same color. Now, if you did this all over the house, it would get a little boring. You kind of want a little bit of color discrepancy in your images, but I'm going to show you what this does because sometimes you just want to have a little bit of perfection in your wall colors, So let's turn that on and off. And so you can see the difference. Look right here. Glowy color, warm, cold. And so you got to kind of decide if you have a place in your photo that you don't like, that you feel like the colors aren't looking right. You can go over there. You can change the colors. Doesn't always work. Sometimes you got to brush it in and then pull back the opacity a little bit. You just got to see what works for you, but just kind of play with it and things. I'm going to get out of this because I like how it looks. But let's go back over here. So that is a finished image, and that's nice and pretty. I like that. Sometimes I can go in here, and I didn't even touch a single thing over here. A little bit of texture over here. That makes it crispy. Some people like that. Texture is that new brush and that new Photoshop. You got to pay that monthly bill though, and you got to make sure that your cost of business. Just chalk it up to cost of business, but. Every part of this image I like. It's nice and crisp. Things are well lit. Makes it pop. Your eye gets drawn to the furniture. Then you see the room. But it works really, really, really well. And this is kind of what we do. So it's the same process for all the houses that we do. Let me kind of show you. So like this room right here. And if you like this video, let me know. I will do more. I can make sure that I'm showing you how things are done. But you can see on this one, these couches, they pop, they glow, and that's because I did those extra little pops on this leather, and that leather just shines, and it really kind of shows those highlights. Didn't fix this TV in this one. This is not the finished image. Sorry, that's the finished image, or one of them. So more of that fan was a pain. Let me tell you. Ooh, turning fans. This is the one room I did not do a big blanket. A soft spill photo from behind camera, which is where I would have used the fan from, and that fan nearly killed me. I had to do all kinds of stuff to make that work, but make sure you do a safety pop from behind. But yeah, so if you so my settings on all these are real simple. They've been on the screen all day. Shooting f8 at 320 ISO, and then when I don't know why it says quarter second. Oh, that's because I overwrote one of these HDR files. I have a weird saving process. Don't do what I do. But so everything's always kind of shot at 200th of a second. I'm a Nikon, so we can go up to 250th. But sometimes you get a little banding at the bottom of your image, so I just go to 200 to make it safe. F8 ISO 320. That usually gives me a good outside exposure. That way when I'm lighting this room, I don't have to do window pulls because I'm already exposed for the outside, and they're good to go. And you can kind of see that on one of these other images over here. Like, here we go. What did I shoot this one at? This was f11. It was a bright day. I want to make sure I had all that. But sometimes I kind of play with it and I over light it. Sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends. Depends on the feeling of the day. If I want to see everything outside, or if I want to see some things outside. Here's a finished image of this one. That way you can kind of see everything is outdoors. It's nice and pretty. This was That was a bright day, so it was 100. They wanted to make sure I showed all this detail out here. So that was one of the things I did to make sure that I was able to do that, was have a nice 100 ISO, so everything popped. And in little rooms, 100 ISO can help out as well, because you have something called a inverse square law, fall off, and so if I'm live from here, this is going to end up, if I light the thing in the middle, everything beyond that is a half a stop darker, which you can see that's nice and bright and that's nice and dark. And so it allows me to have a nice contrast and popping this to the center of my images. And that makes it look more natural, because the light is coming from the middle. These should be brighter than out here, you know, and so that's kind of one of the kind of effects we go with. But so you see here, nice and bright. This is all still nice and evenly lit. Same process. I shot from over here on the left, and I shot from over here on the right, and lit up the room, then flash popped everything around, which is why you get that nice little touch on that chair right there. You get these all nicely lit over here. Oh, that's something else I'll do. I usually go in here, I'll take a brush, I'll warm it up a little bit, same thing, highlights and shadows, and I'll go in here and I'll just kind of pop and brush these lights and make them a little bit brighter, you know, and usually 100% on the flow, and it makes them kind of pop and glow a little bit more. Just little touches like that, you know, things look really good. But if you like the video, let me know. I appreciate it. This is literally the first one I've ever done. Hopefully it was entertaining, if anything else. But I'm kind of enjoying this. It isn't too bad at all. This kitchen shot's always a fun one. I don't know who came up with this idea of shooting down this way, but I've been liking it and people have been loving it. Make sure you don't shoot from too low. You gotta shoot kind of where a mom stands. We put the tripod, I think, sits maybe 4 inches higher than my belly button. I'm 6 foot, but that we find that's a good height for things. Kitchen, we shoot a little bit higher sometimes. Make sure you don't get those tangents from the other sections. But for this shot, we bring it back down, just give it a nice natural level, and then we can kind of see everything. So one of the things you always want when you're doing photography, watch your tangents. See this edge right here? We can still see this table. It looks natural. If we shot from lower down, this table would be higher than that, and it would just look weird. You wouldn't see the table so well. You don't want to be doing too funky things. But hope you all enjoyed that. Hope you liked that. Let me know what you think, and I hope you all have a great day. Take care.